This is Edwin Desamour from the new hit talk show The Wall. You are listening to USLA Radio. What's up, everybody? This is Edwin Desamour, and you're listening to another episode of The Wall, where we witness achievements through life lessons, only on USLA Radio. In the studio today, we have
Lorena.
Elijah.
As more time goes by, he keeps trying to be more smooth with his voice. So anyway, Geneset is not feeling well, but she was helping out in the background with some work. So we're hoping you feel better and wishing you well. And Chica Hawk's in the background in the next room. All right, we're going to just jump right into this because things get good, but then time goes by so fast. So Elijah, topic introduction.
On the wall this week, we are returning to a charged conversation from our last show. Some people agreed on the idea that only white people can be racist. As a result, we decided to spend some time today discussing the meaning of racism and what it means and how the word is applied in our lives. Remember, the end of this show should be the beginning of your conversations. Don't be afraid to tear down the wall.
Don't be afraid to tear down the wall. We're going to jump right into this. What's on the wall? Random quotes. This should be a quick one. Maybe, I don't know. Depends how you guys answer. Would you rather be a hero or a villain for a day? Why?
Hero.
A hero. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just thinking here.
No, 'cause it's more to it, man. 'Cause it depends. What am I doing as a hero, or what am I doing as a villain? What's my cause? What's like? 'Cause I ain't trying to be a hero for. Who am I being a hero for? What am I being a hero?
Like the wrong people.
Yeah, 'cause you know what I mean. If you
Yeah.
get you a hero for the wrong idea,
Yeah.
that's where it falls apart. I'd rather be a villain for the wrong idea.
That's pretty interesting because when folks, especially media, use the words terrorists, sometimes are they really terrorists? Are they really terrorists? When you say what I'm saying, it could be, not be, but someone once said that someone's terrorist is someone's freedom fighters. Actually, was something that's really going on.
You know what? Just like, you know how like the more like I feel like growing up, we had the iconic superheroes. There were people that always came in, saved the day, blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, awesome. But it's like now I feel like we've been seeing a lot more of the villains. I feel like not much recognition goes to the villains. Joker, mentally ill person who has been wronged all his life. I'm not saying what he did was right, but at the same time, man.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
It's like where the people are still like, this guy's crazy, he's a terrorist. But who's the person that made the terrorist?
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because I notice a lot of movies now or TV shows gives more detail and more background into why someone became a villain. What makes that person. I was a big fan of Game of Thrones. And the reason I was a big fan of it was so interesting because Game of Thrones was able to make you hate a character so bad, but then once it dug into this character, that character somehow was able to redeem themselves and made you feel sorry for the character. Then it made you want to root for the character. So that was pretty well put together, but it's pretty interesting. Pretty comment on that. It's pretty tough. What is a hero and what is a villain? What is right and what is wrong, and it depends how we look at that. All right, we're going to jump right into ethical dilemmas. Assume someone you know has done something unforgivable to you. You will respond to this unforgivable act by doing one of the two things. You have to choose one and explain why you are choosing this. You have to choose one. Remember that.
Hold up, what?
Assume someone you know has done something unforgivable to you. You will respond to this unforgivable act by doing one or two things. You have to choose one. All right, ready? Here's the first choice. You can do something equally unforgivable back to them so they can hurt as badly as you did, or you can choose to end the relationship and do nothing else about it and move on. who's willing to take a shot at this?
I feel like I'd go off so fast now. Cause like, I mean, if somebody wronged me like that, I feel like this being me, I know it might sound crazy, but we all have, like it's that first thought is to be like, okay, what am I gonna get them back with? You know what I mean? It's like somebody does a joke on you. All right, let me do a joke back on them.
Well,
We in the heat of the moment. We gonna do it. Like I tell you, if somebody really wronged me for something unforgivable, I'll be in the and I'm really in the heat of the moment. I'm gonna go diabolical. I'm, you know what I mean? Sinister.
He used the word diabolical. Wow.
And but I mean, it's really, and then it's like moving on past that is when you realize, man, I should have just left that alone.
yeah, I'd rather cut him off.
Mm.
Cause I like I'm very much like a forgive and forget type. No, not really forget, but like forgive and move on type of person. So I feel like there's not. I mean, I could not just be thinking of all the possible things that someone can ever do to me, but like there aren't many things that someone could do to me that I just would not ever be able to let go of. Like
Yeah.
eventually, like with time, I'll let go of it eventually. But like, no, I couldn't. Like, I feel like I would rather someone hurt me and then me get on with my life than me knowing that I caused that pain to someone else.
Wow. Pretty interesting.
I get this. Like, how do I say this? It's like, I don't know. I like somebody did something to me. I'm gonna cut them off. I'll move on right away. No questions asked. It's just like, if you did something unforgivable to me, and it's like I'm gonna try my best to be the responsible one or the mature one
But
in
you're
this.
gonna be tempted.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We all
me too.
tempted, but I'm just, I'm gonna cut them off. I'm saying I will. But it's like when we talking about forgiving, we all say we forgive and forget, we grow up. It's like, but it still bugs. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, it's something I could say I forgive something, but it still bugs me. It still bugs me no matter how hard I think and how hard I say I could forgive you. It still bugs me.
Yeah.
So like,
And it also depends on who this person is.
if
Like
it,
if this is just like someone that you don't talk to or like that, and then they did you wrong, then it's like, all right, well,
Yeah, it's pretty deep. I would choose B. It says you could choose to end the relationship and do nothing and just move on. A lot of times that hurts that other person more than ever by you ending the relationship. But I might want to give a true story, right? Because I think I'm matured and I'm evolving myself. No matter how old I am, I'm still learning. There was a time where I wanted to do the same thing to someone that hurt me, right? But at the same time, we have done things to people, and we're asking for forgiveness, but that person is looking like, no, I'm going to get you back. And you're like, wow, I really am sorry. So does it go back to do unto others as you want others to do to you? Oh, I'm messing up that quote. I don't know if I'm messing that up. But anyway, I'm going to give you a true story, right? Uh, I used to run a
barbershop.
organization, and a gentleman, there was a situation where things just didn't end right. This person really tried to do all types of things to really wrong me and really turn people against me, and at the same time even come in and take my role in the position that I was in. Uh, didn't work out. Person went on with their life, wasn't able to produce or do things, even if he was to step into that role. Time went by, I never spoke to him again. But I was very hurt and angry about that because I trusted this person, I brought this person into my circle, and that's something that's big to many people, it's sacred to me.
That's where that role part comes in.
Yeah. So now I was, you talking about probably a couple years later, I had to stop by this program with this organization, and there was a program going on where they were trying to help folks who fell on some hard times that were about to get evicted, and there was a long list there. So when I walked in, because I had a meeting with the person that ran everything, when I walked in and I looked into the waiting room, that gentleman was sitting right in the waiting room. Like,
he was
wow.
about to get evicted.
Yeah, he was. He found himself in a position where he was. Him and his family was about to end up in the streets. So I walked in, I had my meeting, and I also knew the person that ran the program. Besides just as someone I was working with to do work with, it was someone that I knew as good friends. We were good friends. So before I left, I said, "Hey, there's a guy out there," and I gave the name, waiting in the area. Now, I could have easily said, make sure he doesn't get on this list. But I said, can you do me a favor? Can you make sure he gets put up on the list? Can you move him up and make sure that him and his family does not get evicted? I said, no problem. He made it happen. So they ended up calling the guy. I was still in the building. Before I left, he saw me, and he pulls me to the side. He said, hey, why would you do that to me after what I've done? I said, but I wanted to show you I'm not you.
Mhm.
Where, I'm still me, and I'm not going to change who I am and stoop to your level. This is who I always been, and I'm going to keep being that same person. So to me, that was more, I didn't want to be his friend. I still don't want to hang with him. I don't, but, that relationship is cut. But at the same time, I don't want to see your wife or your kids in the streets, because something personal that happened between me and him. So I wanted to make sure that they were taken care of. And I walked off, and I think that hurt him more than anything. That hurt him more than if I would have said, make sure he never gets on that list.
Mhm.
Make sure he never gets up to meet anyone to get his paperwork started. So this is a tough one, but I think for those who are listening, this is just my opinion on that. Stay who you are. Sometimes paybacks is not worth it. Stick to who you are. Don't let nobody else change you just because they act or behaved a certain way. You don't have to go along with the crowd.
Does this have like a when you said this, I feel like when you read this out, it's like I got the idea of the protest, like the current events, Black Lives Matter, because it's like we've seen different types of movements. We've seen a lot of peaceful movements. We obviously at first we saw the kind of the breaking in the stores that first A. That's what we saw a bit. We can't even lie. We did see A, and then we saw B. I mean, we didn't cut off a relationship with everybody. Like we can't just cut America or something. I mean they kind of did that back with the Confederates versus the Civil War.
The Union, yeah.
We could have done that. Honestly, I think we could have done that if enough power got together.
Just cut off the South.
Civil War, exactly.
After that, just cut off the South afterwards. Without forgiveness.
Take Trump, kick him off to the.
I don't even know anymore.
Like that's what could have happened. I'm just being that could have been planned.
Yeah.
That could have been So I'm saying like we could have done it, but we just peaceful, right? I feel like how do I say this? When we're doing all this, when we doing A, we not getting like really a lot of places. Because we're giving them the idea of what they are thinking of us. The whole time you see there's the racists, the white activists, they think of, I'm not trying to say anything, but when they see somebody, they're like, okay, they're probably going to be violent during these protests. They're going to be, and then that's when people get violent. You're giving them what they want to see.
Yeah. And that's what's hurting a lot. But we're going to get into that. That's what's hurting a lot, I believe, in this election because folks are seeing certain things and they're like, see, told you. But we'll get back to that. We're going to go straight to a commercial. We're going to take a quick break. Please stick around. You're listening to The Wall, where we witness achievements to life lessons. Stay tuned.
I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. And even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, Maria, and she convinced me to continue my education. Just never judges. She's a true role model.
From the depths of my heart, I thank you, Maria, for being a friend and a beautiful person. No one receives a diploma alone, and I'm honored to share this moment with you. Thank you.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Edwin Desamour, and you're listening to The Wall, where we witness achievements through life lessons, only on USLA Radio. We're jumping right into the topic of the day. This is a good question. Do you consider yourself racist? Why or why not? Do you consider yourself racist? Why or why not?
No.
No.
Actually, no. Hold up, wait, hold up.
Tough.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it. Hold up.
No, go ahead. Talk.
It's just like when racism comes in, you know, there's hate all around the world, and that's a big problem. You know, we got whites hating blacks. We got different people hating different people, and it's like you can't even like when this like it rubs off. Not in that way. I'm saying like, okay, you're getting the representation that all white people are racist. You get what I mean? Sometimes
You
I'm
talking
not
about like stereotypes?
stereotype.
Like you start believing the
And sometimes I
stereotypes?
could be stereotypical. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody could be like that.
Oh yeah.
I could be stereotypical, and that's what I'm. That's
But yeah, everybody has their biased views. Yeah, I hear what you're saying because you know, like I'm a dean at a school, and a lot of times you know, say if there's a new kid or it don't even have to be a new kid in the school, but there's a situation where you hear one group of kids like, I don't mess with that kid. I'm like, why not? And they're both either Latino or they both African American, whatever it is. I don't mess with that kid. Why not? Because he's from over there, you know, from another side of the neighborhood. But you're hating him because he's from that other side of the neighborhood. And I'm like, it's not his fault. He lived there. Like he's never done anything to you. So, but that is not racist. That is like some type of bias. So, question: do you think there is a difference between racism and racist ideas? Why or why not?
they both got racist in them. What's so different?
But
I'm just asking.
when you say racist ideas, do you mean like prejudice, like racial prejudice?
Yeah.
There's no difference. I think, because get specific. I want to like.
You know,
I feel like the way that I'm interpreting this is that like racial prejudice is when you look at someone, you don't know who they are, you don't know anything about them. You look at someone, you make an assumption about who they are based on like what they look like that, like obviously by their race. But racism is when you're hating on someone because of their race. So I feel like those are interconnected, but they're not like they're not the same thing.
They're related in a way, but they're also not.
Yeah.
Because one's about you just see this person off the spot and be like, oh, they're different.
One is
I
a
don't like them.
judgment. Yeah.
And then
one
the
is a
other ones
ju-
is like, hold up, what is up with that?
One is a judgment, and the other is like an action. I feel like.
it's tough, right?
Yeah.
It's a tough situation between race. Like some folks say, I'm not biased. I don't think this way. Like
No, everyone's biased.
you know, like for example, this has nothing to do with race, but how people still think, because people pick and choose what they decide to be biased about, right? But then there are some folks that are straight racist, like they just don't deal with another race, and this is what I think. But then you got folks that have these biased ideas, right, or views. For example, I'm gonna go off the handle with something totally different. So you see, you got, for example, in the political realm right now, the biggest thing is like gay marriage, right? And the reason is a big issue because of people of faith, people who are religious, right? So they're fighting that, right? And let's be honest, that's what it is. But you know, the politicians has to please those folks, and they're a large group. They're a base right there. But here's my thing: is you're cherry picking if you're a religious person, right? Because someone living with someone without being married is fornicating, and that is sin. So are we rioting or crying about that? You know, it's like you can't pick or choose which one is greater than the next, you know. And I mentioned this
None is
before on the
greater
show.
than the next.
I
Nothing
you know,
is greater than the
I
next.
mentioned this on the show before, you know, me working in the streets as an advocate through the years. I remember running into young people who were kicked out their homes because they came out about their sexuality, and then parents didn't want them. And these were good kids, beautiful kids, good kids, honor roll students, and everything else. So I would try to bring the kid back to the house, and the family would be like, "No way in the world are you going to allow this in my house." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, your other son is selling drugs and carrying guns, you know, and got a girl pregnant. Matter of fact, you're helping set up the baby shower, right? That's okay, but everything he's doing is a sin, but you're picking."
Yeah.
So I think it's almost the same way too. I think when you look at almost every race, especially older people in almost every generation, especially like when it comes to Latinos, when it comes to black or white, if you sit around old people, they're gonna say some stuff. You're like, no, you just didn't say that. out your face. Thanksgiving these days is very difficult for folks because once they sit around at the table
They get comfortable.
and then someone starts saying stuff, and especially the younger generation, their minds are a little bit more expanded. They understand a little bit more. Some folks that are older still think a certain way.
Yeah.
But they pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not racist, but.
But.
They always say but. I don't know or why, and they start saying they or putting people in a category. So it's pretty deep.
What I had a question about was like, I saw this thing on Instagram. I scrolled and it was like a picture of, it was like a black woman, young with curls, like curly hair, like cultured. You know what I'm talking?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like that. There's like a white elderly couple. They have a smile,
I
and
know
she
what
has a
you're
smile.
talking about, and they were touching her hair, right?
like because they was like,
Yeah.
and they asked a good question. It was like, is this like just curiosity or race?
Or disrespect, yeah.
Or is it disrespectful or curiosity? And that's what got me thinking. At the same time, people are gonna think of it like, oh my god, that's mad disrespectful. But like, okay, do you not see they were bonding? I didn't see any disrespect that was meant there. That was just.
I feel like it depends on the
How-
woman. Like if she gave them permission to touch her hair, then that's not disrespect. If she gave them.
If they're gonna walk and be like, what's up with this?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, we're gonna jump into a few things here. Choose one quote below to support your position on racism. Be ready to explain the quote and why you support. It supports your position. All right. A. There is a violence that liberates, and a violence that enslaves. There is a violence that is moral, and a violence that is immoral. Right. B. I can fight only for something that I love. Love only what I respect, and respect only what I know. C. Humanity can learn from those who have broken their chains. Those who have chained humanity for centuries cannot teach humanity anything. D. Courage isn't having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength. And E. Freedom in a society always remains about the same as if it was in ancient Greek republics. Freedom for slave owners. Which one would you pick? Choose one quote below to support your position on racism. Be ready to explain why the quote supports your position.
A. I'm gonna have to go A.
I think I'm gonna go with B.
You're going with B. All right. All right. Elijah goes with A. We're gonna start with this one. There is a violence that liberates, and a violence that enslaves. There is a violence that is moral, and a violence that is immoral. You know who wrote that quote?
No.
Mussolini. You know who Mussolini was, right? He was a dictator. He was just as rough as Hitler. This guy has done some monstrous things.
Wait, so we're gonna ignore who wrote the quote and
Yeah,
focus more on the quote.
Yeah, but hold on one second.
That's what we're
I'm
gonna
just saying
do.
though, like, but these are the same folks who people follow who use these words, right? All right. And you picked B, right? All right.
Oh my god.
All right.
I can't have anything, man.
All right, but listen to this one. You picked B. B is
Yeah.
I can fight only for something that I love only what I respect, and respect only what I know.
I'm a little iffy about that one, but that's the one that sits with me the most.
It sits with you the most.
Yeah.
You know who's
It's probably another dictator. Isn't it?
Hitler.
Bro, I was thinking that too, bro. Ah!
All right, you see, I knew I was iffy about this one. I'm iffy about this one, but this one is.
Let's
better
just
than the
ignore
rest
the people who wrote the quotes, cause then focus more on the
Why
quotes.
ignore the people that wrote the quote?
Because they
Because isn't it important? Isn't it important?
they see it their way, we see it our way.
Yeah,
okay.
but isn't it important who the message is coming from?
That is important, but it's like.
Wow. Just wanted to put that on the
It's like, but we both got different ideas on what the message is meant for.
Mhm.
Hitler was some guy who wanted a perfect race. We're people who just want equality. So
That was crazy, man.
yeah, you see. Hold up. All right, let me explain A before you say anything else that's gonna ruin it. All right, there is a violence that liberates and a violence that enslaves. There is a violence that is moral and a violence that is immoral. This goes back on so much that I've been talking about with the protests and how there's been the riots, looting and all that. That's immoral. That's what I'm talking about. There's the violence is needed when violence is needed.
See, but then it was dangerous about that philosophy because all of us could think like that, but then someone could take that and use that for the wrong.
Which is what has happened.
That's why I feel like people gotta understand more. It's because
Understand what though? That's the thing. Because
Understand what?
everything is up to everyone's interpretation.
I feel like I'm not gonna lie. People be like, "Oh, peace." I'm not gonna lie. Where we could be somewhere really cool with all peace, but at the same time, I feel like all peace would really mess us up at the same time. You know what I mean? Because I mean, yeah, peace could solve a lot of problems,
Are you?
but it's like
What do you mean peace could mess us up?
I don't know how to explain it. I feel like sometimes violence is needed because if we're always all peace and no talk,
But if we had all peace, then we wouldn't need violence.
but what if something like
Like,
He talking about peace, and you're talking about peace around the world. Everybody was peaceful,
yeah.
but in order to
how are we
achieve peace in certain places,
You need
sometimes
violence? Is that what you're trying to
violence.
say?
Yes,
Okay.
That's
I
what I'm
feel you.
talking.
And there were some folks that would disagree with that. Then there's some folks like at the end of the day, that is a bigger topic. That's another topic we could discuss because that could
another
go in so many different ways. But
conversation.
we're down to 16 seconds. We're gonna go straight to a break, and we're gonna come right back, and we got some more good stuff. This is good. Stay
Ice,
tuned.
baby.
You're listening to The Wall on Utah Radio.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
That was more than it was. I even had that my diploma mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education.
No one receives a diploma alone.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Edwin Desamour. You listen to The Wall, where we witness achievements to life lessons.
Okay.
All right, we're going to jump into definitions. Focuses on the ideas of racism, right? These are definitions. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership or a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. Beliefs of racism. The belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. Both definitions create groups of people based on race. So either way, both are dangerous. Do you agree? Disagree? Speak your mind, Elijah. You're breathing through that mask pretty heavy.
You stressing out over there, bro.
It depends.
It depends.
Cause like we were talking about earlier, that the idea of racist is like sometimes it's just like judging a book by its cover, but then when it comes to the beliefs of racism, it's like I don't even want to touch that series of books. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one's like, okay, you ain't get to know it so much. It's not so much of a racist thing. It's more like of not getting to know that person, just hating them just by not knowing them. But then there's that other one. It's like I don't even want to associate myself with that person because of etc. Where they from or who they are, the background doesn't matter to me.
No. we're gonna go to. I have a question, and it's pretty deep. It might lead into something bigger, but I'm gonna save it towards the end if we have enough time.
Oh man, I want to talk.
All right. Kendi's definition of racism is any concept that regards one racial group as superior or inferior to another racial group in any way. Are the following ideas racist? Why or why not? All right. I have an answer sheet right here. All right. Are the following ideas racist? Remember that. Why or why not? Number one, this is an idea. All people should treat others as they were like. All people should treat others as they would like to be treated.
Golden rule.
No, that's the I was gonna say that's the golden rule. Nope.
All right. No, people are not being broken into groups according to their race. All right. Number two, everyone should wear a mask while out in public.
No, wait, what? Everyone should wear it.
You know what I've been
We're
seeing
saying
lately?
we're saying if this is
Hold on,
racist,
hold
right?
on.
Yeah, we're asking.
No,
I don't know
this
if you've
isn't
been
racist.
seeing the videos where they be
public
trying to
safety.
fight into the store, the
Yeah.
Karens in there, trying to, and it's like I'm being discriminated against because
That's
of,
public safety.
it's just safety.
All right. No, people are not being broken into groups according to their race. This statement refers to everyone. All right. Idea number three, all people should make the same amount of money no matter what education level they have obtained.
That's when it becomes
This-
confusing.
yeah,
That's when you get
because-
too equal, because there's certain levels of things where people should be able to make more money. You see, like
I feel like the money thing depends on like.
I'm a firm believer you got to earn your way.
you see, I'm a scientist,
yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. Well,
I'm a scientist,
You
but I make the
actually-
same
yeah.
amount of money of like a person.
I feel like
Why
you
would I
have to-
work if you're going to get paid too and not do nothing?
yeah, I feel like you have to earn your way, but like I feel like education shouldn't be part of it. Like if you wanna go to college for 20 years, then like that's you. But like, I feel like if someone works their way up from the bottom in a way that isn't education, then like they deserve it just as much as you do.
Most definitely.
If
Yeah,
we're
so that's
talking
not,
about
that's
same,
not racist. That's just equity.
we're
Okay,
talking
yeah.
about same like
So it's not. It says it here, no.
two people that work in the same department, same thing, same whatever. They got the same jobs, same clock in. They're good. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. All right. No. Just in general. No, we're not.
Oh,
All right. We're going to jump to that. So I'm trying to get through this time. All right. Number 4. All Hispanic people speak Spanish.
That's racist. Racist?
That's racist.
That's
actually.
racist.
That's
People are being broken into groups based on their race. Hispanic implies that people who are Hispanic that do not speak Spanish somehow inferior to those that, that do is assumption. Man, you don't know how I've been criticized for not really speaking Spanish like
too.
that, and have people's eyes pop right open.
Me
You don't
too.
speak Spanish? I'm like,
too.
wow, what did
And-
I do? Forgive me.
Right, and it's like for me, Spanish is my first language, but I speak English better than I do Spanish. So growing up, I had a friend, and her Spanish was her first language. Her parents didn't speak her parents don't speak English, so she spoke it more than I did, and she would call me like a fake Latina because my Spanish wasn't as good as hers.
Yeah,
So it's like
I was called
What do
a
you-
counterfeit Puerto Rican. Anyway, number 5. All people living in the United States should learn to speak English.
that's racist.
I mean, that's where it gets. Cause back to the thing about you were talking
Where?
about what's the cheesesteak place?
Yeah, Gino's Cheesesteaks one time put a sign up there saying you must speak English to get a cheesesteak.
And that's where it comes too far because this is the land of the free. We have the right, the freedom of speech, the freedom to speak. There's no national language. There's no
Yeah,
no
Right.
declared national language. Speak whatever language you want. That's the point of America.
you're right. It says here, not really, but kind of. In theory, the statement breaks people according to their language. But this breaking into groups by language will have the implication that breaking them into groups according to races that speak English versus those that do. It also implies that speaking English races are superiors than those who do not. So it gets kind of iffy. All right, last one. Only white people can have racist ideas or racist.
That's not racist. That's just the truth. That's just how it is.
Because there's
Because you have to think about this. Just like I said yesterday. Just like you said last time. I'm still stand by this. Oppressed people can't oppress.
All right. Well, it says here, yes, it is racist. According to, and now listen why. It breaks people into groups based on their race. white people and everyone else, and implies that only one of the racial groups, in this case, white people, are inferior of others because they are racist and other groups are not.
That's
That is a racist statement.
That's where I feel like that's where it becomes dumb. But look, okay, that's where like I was gonna start talking about. Look, I agree with you in certain ways, but at the same time, like I feel like it really, I feel like white people really built up the fact like, yeah, we're the racists here. That's what I feel like they built up.
No,
Then,
I'm not saying that is the case with some that we see a lot of times in America and what was happening in American history. But we talking about in the world period. Are they the only race?
no.
And we no.
We're not the first people to make. I mean, wait, not we. Hold up. I mean, white people weren't the first people to make slavery.
All right. Now, matter of fact, this is a perfect time to ask this question. Now, like even I keep throwing religion in this, right? I'm gonna throw religion in this because
Go ahead.
was God racist? Because a lot of people fail to realize. You said no, but
They made him racist.
But listen. Was God racist because Jews were his chosen people? Salvation was not eligible for the Gentiles. It was not eligible at one time. So was God racist? Yes or no? That is just a question. Maybe we can answer later on because we're down almost 3 minutes, but it's just food for thought. But then, according to the New Testament, Jesus came in and they since the Jews rejected Jesus, then they opened it up for other folks to get a shot at redemption and being saved. So, but if they didn't reject him, we would have been out the picture because that was his chosen people.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's racist. Off a group of people. So, but I know it's touching. Everybody's like, how dare you say this right now on the radio? You know, I was be struck by lightning.
There's Catholics and then there's the Catholics. I'm a Catholic. And then there's those hardcore Catholics where they be like, gay's wrong, gay's a sin.
You know what's funny? Before at the beginning of the show, we were telling you to move up to get closer to the mic, and now you're yelling.
Yeah.
Like you're a foot away from the mic.
Hold on, wait, because look.
2 minutes.
No, I just lost train of thought. Hold up, wait, I got this. It's gonna come back to me in like a mad second. Okay, but I think the thing is that I feel like they make up all this stuff. They flip the words of God, and I feel like God made us the way we were supposed to be made.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about God made all of us. He made the universe, and then all of a sudden it's like God hates gay people. Then why did He make them?
Yeah, you got a point there. All right.
You're right.
Quote of the day. You don't fight racism with racism. You fight racism with unity. Fred Hampton, civil rights activist from the Black Panther, one of the Black Panther leaders. One thing we all share is an ugly, violent past. We cannot change it, but we can move forward from it. The more we divide people into groups based on race, the less we are acting in unity. To be united, we have to stop naming groups. It's not about these people versus those people. And let's start talking about what is the best for just people, period. This is still a touchy topic, and everybody, and I want to, for those who listen, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But it doesn't mean we hate each other just because someone has an opinion. We still must love each other. We must still promote love on this planet, period. Not just in our communities, just who we are when we walk around. Let's be kind to one another. Let's speak to one another. Everyone is capable of love. Everyone. And that's a fact. It was built and installed in us. So this is Edwin Desamour. This was a great show. Again, I want to thank both our young people, our young folks, Lorena and Elijah. I want to thank both of you for your ideas. But we have 49 seconds left.
Be quick.
Go ahead.
But I feel like people are gonna hate on me for this. I feel like everything was intended to happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like Hitler was intended to happen for a reason.
Yeah.
What the people don't know is that these are lessons to us that I feel like we're still having trouble picking up, and that's why it keeps on occurring. God made this happen for a reason so we could wake up.
We don't understand it now, but we will eventually.
Exactly. It's gonna keep on happening until we really realize it. Until everybody's a free person. Until everybody's, understandable of who everybody is. And it's just going to keep on reoccurring and reoccurring.
I agree. And there's no justice till we're all free. Every human being.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone. So I want to end it up from there. Thank you for tuning in. This is Edwin Desamour on the wall.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps!
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.